Hello. Great work, Bombardier. That's a beautiful plane. I'm excited to see that Global 8000 come into service. So first of all, Benjamin Hockenberg, who is our Chief Investment Officer for JSSI Aviation Capital, he was supposed to conduct this presentation, but unfortunately he couldn't make the trip. So he's asked me to conduct the presentation. My name is Quentin Bond. I'm a sales director for JSSI. I'm based in Hong Kong. And I focus mainly on our hourly cost maintenance programs. So I'm going to try my best to conduct this presentation and talk about aircraft financing. So first of all, JSSI stands for Jet Support Service Incorporated. Our core product and service over the past 35 years is our hourly cost maintenance programs. We are the leading independent provider of hourly cost maintenance programs for private jets, helicopters, and turboprops. What we do is we project the maintenance on your asset, airframe, engines, or APU, and then we cover the cost with a fixed projection so you know for sure how much your maintenance is going to cost you over the term. Now, we have introduced other products and services over the years. We have our JSSI parts and leasing business, where we sell aircraft parts and engines, also available for rental. We are also very active with buying aircraft for part out. Each year we part out around 12 aircraft, so we have that used serviceable material for our clients in the market. We've parted out G550s, Globals, Falcon 2000s, Citations, Sovereigns, Phenoms, and G200s, and many other types. We have our advisory services business where we provide aircraft appraisals, asset inspections, and also maintenance event management. Finally, but we also have our JSSI software business where we provide cloud-based maintenance tracking software under the brand name Traxor. And we also have Conklin and Dedeker, which is a platform that you can use to do price and aircraft performance comparison, and you can work out your fixed and variable cost and maintenance forecasts for your aircraft. And then finally, we launched our JSSI Aviation Capital in 2023. Now, my understanding with the finance industry in business aviation, it's quite fragmented, but typically you would have two types of lenders. You have your traditional banks and wealth management companies that would provide credit-based lending to an individual that might have investments and capital with that bank or organization that they can use as collateral for that finance. Then your second type of lender, you would have what we call a specialized or specialty financier. These companies provide different types of finance solutions. Companies such as Air Finance, maybe Global Jet Capital, Chilease, Shearwater Capital, maybe a broker like Lendikit, and then JSSI Aviation Capital, to name a few. Now, what we focus on at JSSI Aviation Capital is mainly asset-based lending. So we don't look at the borrower's other investments or assets, capital as collateral. We are taking a lien on the aircraft itself. We would hold the title during the contract term, which is typically around 5 years. It is a finance lease, and we typically do a 65% loan to value on the asset. Now, you can imagine that this type of lending is a little bit more riskier for the lender, so the interest rate is higher. However, this product is becoming popular in the market and is very popular for maybe financing an older aircraft, maybe like a 25-year-old Global Express, or a borrower that doesn't have investments with the traditional banks and maybe has the capital tied into something else, maybe crypto. And then it's also popular for borrowers that need quick cash to buy their asset. We have, with this kind of financing, we're allowed to invest or finance individuals in many different types of countries, or many countries, should I say, and we also can finance many different types of aircraft. So the process of financing an aircraft, you would obviously have an aircraft buyer. You have he would have professional representation, a broker, lawyer, probably a management company. They would know their aircraft type and model based on mission profile and budget, and then they'll probably have a serial number that they're looking to buy. Now, let's say it's a 20-year-old G550, and they want to get aircraft financing. So obviously they're going to go on the market and look at their options. Options, you always have to look at your options in aviation, right? Sorry, I'm going to have to probably just remind everyone that options, picking the right aircraft type, management options, lawyer, broker, hull insurance, country of registration, finance options, maintenance program options as well. So remember, when you're looking at maintenance programs, you always have 3 types of maintenance programs to consider. You have the first option, which is the OEM programs. The second option is the JSSI program, the independent provider, right? There are other independent providers on the market. Not many cover Asia Pacific, and I don't think any cover or do tip to tail. And then the third option is the self-reserve option, which is an option. However, if you're getting aircraft financing, you would have to typically put the engine on a program, OEM or JSSI. So in this, back to the slide, in this case, the buyer or the prospect is looking for financing options, might narrow down the options because it's a 20-year-old GFI50. They can send their request to JSSI. We would need information on the client so we could do a basic KYC, information on the aircraft, maintenance status report. So we can do a desktop appraisal, do a maintenance forecast on the asset over the contract term, and then give some information on what we can lend, a basic finance structure for the client to consider. And then they can review it. And then the next stage would be, let's say they want to buy the aircraft. So at this stage, we'll be drafting a term sheet that has the structure of the finance, how much you're going to be paying per month, any balloon payments, good faith deposits. Management companies, we do require an approved management company to look after the asset. Maintenance programs, engine programs, of course, OEM or JSSI. Any other relevant information for the deal. So once they sign that term sheet, they're on that APA position as well. Once they sign that term sheet, they're committed. This is when the process starts very quickly. We can lend very quickly, by the way, I forgot to mention, we've done deals where it's taken 20 days from the initial phone call to closing. So that's another benefit with asset-based financing. But they would sign the term sheet, we would do a thorough KYC check on the client, we would do an aircraft appraisal on the asset, which could take 3 days with an aged machine like that. And then we'll be waiting for the good faith deposit, and we'll be talking to all parties involved with the deal, particularly the lawyers and the brokers, talking about milestones in the process of acquiring the aircraft, the PPIs, and closing. And then hopefully the PPI is done accordingly, and then the aircraft is closed, and now the aircraft is being managed by the management company. The client is very happy with the dream jet. The management company is happy. We're getting notified on a monthly basis to make sure all parties involved are happy and the aircraft is in good standing order. So how we add value, additional value to our finance clients. Now, we do have other products and services that would complement them. We are in the maintenance business. We cover 6,500 assets under our programs. We handle hundreds and hundreds of maintenance events each year, so we have that data. We know who to talk to. We know what to expect. We're in the parts business, so we can recommend solutions with the parts, or they can check in our inventory. We're in the appraisal business, and also we are in the maintenance tracking business. Now, one of the key things with JSSI, our ethos, is to be the independent advocate for our client. That's why we're not an MRO. You know, that's why we do not do hands-on maintenance work. That's why we do not operate aircraft. That's why we do not sell aircraft or provide camo services, because we need to remain independent. We want our clients to have the flexibility to choose who they want to do their maintenance with, or who they want with a management company, as long as they're an approved management company, who to get parts from with the vendor. So we're very independent, and we try our best to strengthen our relationships and partners and continue to work with the OEMs and the MROs, because they do a lot of the maintenance work. Continue to work with our management companies and operators and the parts vendors for the benefit of our client. We're an international company, so we have technical advisors all over the world who are engineers, and they can support the client however they need, and particularly operationally. Sorry, this slide was supposed to be deleted. Hang on a sec. I'll just give you some examples of what we've financed. We've done global 6,000 in Middle East. It was a 2021, so it was actually a newer serial number. We've done a Challenger 604 in Africa. We've done a Legacy 600 and a Global 5000 in Southeast Asia. And an interesting deal we did was a bridge loan for a broker that needed to buy a Phenom for inventory, and they couldn't get their financing quick enough with their traditional bank. So we lent them money for the acquisition, so we also do bridge loans as well. And I think that's it. Should you have any questions, please send me an email, and I will direct it to Benjamin Hockenberg and his team. But thank you very much for listening to me today, and have a lovely day.